Now, working with these high net worth individuals, give me a common theme that you see that makes them successful. Is it work ethic?
Some yes, some no. Majority of I don't want to paint a broad brush that just because majority of them have inherited the money, so it's generational wealth. But I don't want to paint the broad stroke of just because they inherited the money doesn't mean that they don't work hard or they're not smart. Because for everyone that I've worked with or that I'm currently working with at this time, these people are brilliant people who work hard every single day. And so I would say that the common thread is they know where to go get the answers.
Right.
Okay. So if they don't know, they have the resources or they know how to go get the resources to get the answer to whatever their issue is that can make them successful.
Right.
I think that that's the common thread and the key to their success. Again, that goes back to networking as well. If
Yeah.
you have the resources and the access to the information, you have a better opportunity of being successful. And I think that that's the common thread of all wealthy families that I deal with.
Right. What do you think? I'm hearing a lot of Black people talk about generational wealth and
Mhm.
passing money on to their kids. The data says that 90% of millionaires are self made.
Okay.
What do you think of that? Should we be focusing more on leaving money or assets to our children? Or should we be more focused on teaching them things that we wish we would have known?
It's a great question. I think um, I think it's not an either or. I think it's a both and.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Um, the single and easiest way to create generational wealth and give wealth to your children is by life insurance. Okay.
Yes.
Um, so that's number one, and I have to say that out loud. But then also, it's not as hard as most people think it is either. And what I tell people all the time is um, the fundamentals of finance is this: budget, saving, investing. When we talk budgeting, um, the goal is for you to set a realistic budget, not to just budget, but set a realistic budget. Okay. When we talk about saving, the goal is to pay yourself first. So before you pay a bill, you pay yourself by putting money into your saving account. I don't care if it's $10, whatever it is. And
Mhm.
then ultimately, you want to get to the point where you can invest. And so if you can figure out those three different principles, particularly starting off with the budgeting and setting a realistic budget, get to where you could save and build up a nest egg, and then ultimately where you can invest. If you invest over time, understanding that you have a time horizon with compounding interest, you should have something for you and your kids in the end. And, it's hard for me to say that because obviously people in this world are at different income levels, but I think life is all about relativity, right? And so um, you can adjust your life and your budget. Just because a person makes $1 million um, doesn't mean that the person that makes $40,000 wouldn't be able to save the same amount of money that a person that has $1 million, because typically a person that has $1 million has high overhead, and so they may be living above their means 9 times out of 10 anyway. So the person that has the 40,000, they've realized how to live off of a tight budget anyway, and so they may actually have the ability to save more money than that person who makes more money. And so just understanding that you can give yourself a chance at success when it comes to long term saving and investing.